Hispanic Heritage Month is an important celebration of Hispanic cultural heritage and in honoring Hispanic contributions. We learned how Atlantic City Electric stepped up in a big way for this year's celebration. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time to understand the past.
Choose to soar to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare. For more information, call 1-888-569-1000 or visit atlanticare.org. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.
Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. As we approach the close of Hispanic Heritage Month, it is my honor to welcome two colleagues from Atlantic City Electric to discuss their perspective of the cultural celebration. Please join me in welcoming Eva Rojas and Dan Rodriguez. Eva, Dan, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thanks for having us.
Obviously, full disclosure, I also work for Atlantic City Electric, so it's a pleasure to have other Latinos that work there. And tell me a little bit about your role at Atlantic City Electric.
I am an area maintenance engineer for Atlantic City Electric, and what that means is my role is responsible for evaluating test results, supporting the crews doing maintenance on substations. I am responsible mainly for all the shore substations and looking for improvement opportunities and long-term projects to recommend for improvements in the area.
And it sounds like that's very technical work, and I'm glad there's a Latina doing that kind of work. And Dan, I know you're a project manager, senior project manager. Tell me what that involves.
Yeah, so I'm the senior project manager for our transmission category across PHI. So I oversee all of our transmission portfolio dollars for New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., responsible for just overseeing the execution of that work, ensuring that we're on target with our commitments to our commissions, and just overall seeing the full execution of those projects to ensure a smooth execution.
You mentioned PHI, so just to be clear to our audience, Atlantic City Electric is part of PHI, and PHI happens to be under the umbrella of Exelon Utilities. So, Dan, just going back to you, we just had Hispanic Heritage Month. We're at the end of Hispanic Heritage Month. Tell me, what was the most significant thing this year for you in terms of that celebration?
I think just being more involved this year. I know we have the OLA chapter, which is the organization of Latinos in Exelon, or at Exelon, and just being more involved with the planning at our location here in New Jersey, being able to help plan overall what we're doing and execute it, and also just be a part of our volunteer events. So I know we've hosted a numerous amount of volunteer events across the Atlantic City Electric service territory. We were at the Atlantic City Latino Festival. We were also at the Community Food Bank in Wildwood, where we were able to partner with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey and hand out food items.
Yeah, and we're going to get a little more in-depth in terms of the celebrations, but, you know, in terms of your background, right, you're Latino, but you also have another heritage. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I'm obviously Rodriguez, so my dad's Puerto Rican, and my mom's German, so I'm biracial, which has presented some challenges in life. I mean, it's like when you're a kid and you are navigating which side to go to almost, but just staying present and engaged with my Latino side is definitely something that I'm trying to always be conscious of and being that example for other Latinos. I know that we have a lot of children look up to us and be role models for folks.
And Eva, a similar question. Dominican. Tell me in terms of how you view your culture and your work. I mean, is there a tie between what you do on your regular work and just the fact that you bring that new perspective as a Latina?
Yeah, so what I feel I can input into doing my role, one is I'm a female, not many of us, and then I bring the Latino culture. It's just the experiences, how that built you. I was born in the Dominican Republic, and I immigrated to the United States, moved to New York, had that experience, and then I always had a goal to go to college and wanted to be an engineer. So just that drive to get to meet those goals and just make it in the industry in corporate America. So definitely.
And I want to piggyback on what you said. There's not many of us as a Latina and as a woman in the engineering field itself, right? So how difficult was it for you to really go into that field?
Definitely challenges. I didn't just land there. It's been a process. I started in a position that wasn't very technically involved. I started in a nuclear power plant as a system engineer, and it was an entry level, right? And then slowly I started progressing into, I felt that just the way I am, I needed something more hands-on. So I worked my way to get more into the field. So I continued to looking for those opportunities and found those opportunities at the plant, and then that set me up to land in the position that I am right now in Atlantic City Electric, where I can contribute as a female in the field. And I enjoy it. I feel that it's not only the perspective that I can bring, but it also makes me more marketable, and it helps in my experience and the things that I can contribute in the field in the future to the company.
Very important message for other Latinas who may be listening in as well. And Dan, I know that obviously it wasn't a walk in the park for you either in terms of getting the higher education and landing in the field that you did land. What were some of the obstacles you faced?
Yeah, I mean, I started back in 2012 with the company, worked through customer operations, so I kind of worked my way up to where I am today with the goal that I still have more goals to continue working up towards. Just being there and different programs that the company does to kind of help assist with that. I'm currently in the Latinx Developing Leaders program. I graduate next week, so just those types of programs that the company offers definitely help move Latinos and Latinas up and around in the company, just to continue to promote that type of diversity, equity, and inclusion within Exelon and Atlantic City Electric.
Let's talk about that support, right? And I know we got some colleagues here, and full disclosure, I'm the old man in the group, right? I just completed 45 years of service, thank you, where we didn't have that kind of support as a Latino, right? And we do have some great support now. Tell me in terms of what that means to you to having the support as a Latino.
Yeah, I mean, it really speaks volumes. I think the company definitely is investing in what they talk. So they're putting that investment into us. There's 16 people currently in that program. I think Ava was in it previously. Just the experiences and the kind of culture that you get by being a part of that program, it's almost like a brother and sisterhood. You make bonds, you network. You also are learning development and leadership skills from other leaders, not only in the utility industry, but across the professional industry in the country. So it's definitely a lot of different types of takeaways and growth that has happened in the past 6 months. And I think it just, again, speaks that the company really wants to invest in us and see us grow and see us succeed.
Yeah, and then not to sound like a commercial, right? There's still a lot more room for the company to be as inclusive and certainly help to promote more Latinos. Eva, in terms of your participation, you like Dan indicated, some role models. Tell me about some of the role models you have had along your course.
So definitely it's something that has always been important to me. And growing up into this career, I was always, some of the things that motivated me was always seeing people like me, or maybe a female, for example, in those positions. And I feel like going back into how I came to the positions that in my journey into landing where I am now, I've always felt motivated by someone in that future role that I wanted. I felt like if they could do it, then I could do it too. And they were always people that I could talk to, that I could ask questions and help me figure out how I could get and reach those goals. So definitely finding role models have been very important in my career. And it's some of the reasons why I've made it a point to be involved in the community, because it's really what influences others.
I want to talk a little bit about how Atlanta City Electric celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We're back with Daniel Rodriguez and Eva Rojas from Atlanta City Electric discussing Hispanic Heritage Month. And Eva and Daniel, I know we discussed a little bit about your personal feelings in terms of being Latinos, working at Atlanta City Electric. And one of the big things that Atlanta City Electric, and Daniel, I think you alluded to this, is the fact that we have ERGs, which are employee resource groups. And one of them happens to be a Latino group. So Eva, I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell me about the Latino ERG that exists at Atlanta City Electric.
The Latino ERG that we have is called OLE, Organization of Latinos at Exelon. And for us, it's an opportunity to create that community, share our backgrounds and connect with other people from the organization. It's not necessarily people from a Latino community. It's anyone that's interested in joining and help us and join us in our community service and building that community for us.
Yeah, and it's amazing that we have so many allies, right, that have participated with OLE and been really involved in the organization. Daniel, I know that you helped lead a big celebration at Atlanta City Electric. It was a big hit. We heard all positive news from everybody, not just Latinos, but across the board. Tell me a little bit about that celebration.
Yeah, the group, our organization, Latinos Exelon and Atlantic City Electric chapter, really all came together, and it wasn't just one person who was able to successfully put that together and have a great day there, but a team of us. So, like Eva said, it really creates, the OLE group really creates a family type of culture where we can all share but work together. And what we were able to accomplish was a successful event last week, and we had a huge turnout from across the enterprise, tons of senior leadership, a few community members that are leaders within the Hispanic community were able to make it. We had dancing, we had a band, we had, if you name it, we had it. We had street corn, we had all the other types of beverages and carts. It was really a festival type of environment that was able to be created there. It was a great time and a lot of memorable moments.
It's certainly a far cry from being on the desk and working, doing engineering stuff, right? But
Yeah.
here, take time to celebrate. Eva, tell me a little bit about what was at the event. I mean, I know there was a lot of nice Latino foods as well.
Yes, yeah. So we are Latinos, and our heritage is very driven by the food, right? And there's a big variety of what we eat from Latin America. So definitely we made an effort to showcase really what our heritage is, the kinds of food that we consume in different countries. So we wanted to share that with the organization so that they learn a little bit about what's out there and what we can offer. You could see that they really enjoyed it. The music, sometimes it felt a little loud. It was concerning too, because it's not an environment that we're used to, but that's how we are. And you approach a festival, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the varieties of food and the music.
Yeah, we have a video that shows the fact that we have people from across the company coming, not just Latinos, but like I mentioned, a lot of allies supporting this event. Daniel, I know that the empanadas went very quickly.
Yeah, they were a big hit. I mean, it was a really colorful day, and that's what our culture is: music, food, camaraderie. I mean, coming together, that's really what speaks to the culture, I think. And it was really present that day. You could hear it, see it, and feel it. It was great.
Very, very important. Now, I know that from Latin America, we have all sorts of food, like you mentioned. We have all sorts of entertainment. There were two groups there. One was salsa band primarily, and then we had also a folkloric group from Honduras. Eva, what was the impression from other employees from the celebration?
One thing that I took back from that event, it was that how everyone embraced it. Leadership was there from different operations as well, and you could see that they were impressed with what we were trying to share from the cultures that we had. So my impression was that it was very well received, and that we are incentivized to continue doing things like this. You can see that you're bringing the entire organization together, and that's the goal. That's why we have ERGs, and why we have this ERG is to bring everyone together. And for us, it's not that many of us, right? We're trying to build that community, bring, as is said, right, your whole self to work.
And Daniel, I know in terms of what this means to you personally, to feel that embracement from other colleagues, not just the Latino community at work.
Yeah, I mean, it really speaks to again, appreciation of us bringing our full selves to work, being able to be authentic, and bringing that important part of you to work. Because I think a lot of times in our culture, a lot of the things that can drive a successful leader, we have those traits, we have those qualities, and we love a team environment. We like to have fun and be successful. So I think just being able to be all of that and be your full self, and big part is, again, being who you are and being Hispanic and whatnot, or Latino, and whatever part you are within the mix, just being that is a great thing, and being appreciated for that.
So what's next for next year? I mean, you really hit a very top milestone here in terms of the celebration.
We're taking a short break, but it's already been planning's been mentioned, and yeah, we've been pushed. Hey, let's do better and bigger next year. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll always figure a way out some way, somehow.
Now, Ole is not just Atlanta City Electric, right? There's across Exelon utilities. Tell me a little bit, Eva, in terms of how other ERGs are also celebrating and embracing Hispanic heritage throughout Hispanic Heritage Month.
And that's a big part of how this is very welcomed as well. It's a collaboration. Exelon has operations in Chicago and in Baltimore, in Maryland, and in DC, and Pico, which is in Pennsylvania, so in Delaware. We try to work as much as we can together. All of it is a group effort in all the coordination that was placed. So you really, that collaboration sends a big message that we're making strides, right? We are making progress. There's many of us in all of these operations. Many of us, maybe not as many as there should be, but a lot of them are leaders in the organizations, right? And that's what we want to. One of the goals of the ERG is to also promote our members to continue growing into their careers and take those leadership positions as well.
Very important. And I know, Dan, you had an opportunity to visit some of the other celebrations. What was your impression?
Yeah, so we kind of did a little road trip. Some of the members who were able to make it within LA, we stopped in Delmarva, Delaware. So we went to their event. They had a food truck event. Big turnout, again, with the organization. A lot of people there. Great great day of camaraderie and just food. And then we also made our way down to Washington, D.C. the next day, where we were able to enjoy their event. And they had some music. They had different types of Peruvian food and some Dominican food. It was a good event, solid turnout again, and we had a lot of leadership there. It was a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like it was great. I want to talk a little bit about the leadership and some of the message that we heard during the opening ceremony of Hispanic Heritage Month. We want to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We're once again with Dan Rodriguez and Eva Rojas from Atlantic City Electric. And Dan and Eva, we were talking about the great celebration you had at Atlantic City Electric. Just want to rewind a little bit to the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. I know we had a virtual kickoff throughout Exelon, and the theme this year was Latinos y Más, the power in us. So Eva, what does that theme mean to you?
For me, it's the variety of things we are capable of and the things that we do. We support every kind of work or positions, and I mean we are doctors, we're farmers, we are nurses. It's a big variety. Business owners, big variety of capes and hats that we.
And I like the logo that was developed. It was based around heroes, right? Yeah. Superheroes. And Dan, I know that one of the, on the video, when we're asking individuals, who is your hero? You have a hero. Who's your hero?
Yeah, my superhero would be my grandmother. So my abuela, she came to New Jersey about 50 years ago as a single mother. She had her kids, worked the whole time, never got a driver's license, and never fully learned the English language. So she had a lot of barriers, but she somehow made it all work. She worked in the casino industry for 30 plus years, taking the train every day to the casino and coming back, and just always persevering and always caring for her family first. And I think that just really speaks volumes to her dedication to one of the important things in our culture, which is family.
Yeah, very, very much so. And Eva, I know you also have a hero. Tell me about your hero.
My father, for sure. I mean, he's always been there and the one that set up the standards of where and the things that I wanted to do in my career. So definitely someone that I'm very, I admire him so much because of how the area that he was born and what he was able to do with his life and where he was able to land with all the challenges. He was one child, the youngest child of 12, got himself through college in that time, so many years ago, was able to get an education, left all of that behind, came to this country, understanding that there was better opportunity for his kids. And it ended up working out very well. So that was something that I admire him so much for that.
Yeah, and Dan, you mentioned the importance of family, and I think my hero would have been my stepmother. Because even after my father was no longer in the picture, left, she continued to care for us. And she was mom, she was family. So, you know, we all have different meanings of what family means. And I think she put that perspective in my head here in terms of my heart, in terms of what family really means. It's not just, and in the Latino culture, you know, everyone's family. You know, it was just great. And she certainly served as my hero. Now, doing our opening virtual event, a lot of the leaders spoke, and we had one leader who was Myra Humphrey. She talked about the imposter syndrome. Eva, what did that mean to you, and what was the message?
I mean, it resonated. I think, and it probably will happen to a lot of Latinos, right? Because we don't hold a lot of higher up positions. So definitely resonated with me being a Latina. In the future, would hope that I get to a leadership position. So definitely something that I think a lot about in leading others and the quality of leader that I will be in the future. So definitely it hit home for me. It was actually, I appreciated that message very much because again, that's that knowing that that it's okay to feel like that. Others do feel like that, but it's a challenge that you can conquer. They are doing it very well. So just looking up to those leaders that are up there, they feel it. It just motivates me more.
Yeah, it's basically the fact that as a Latino, there's not that expectation that you're going to be that leader, and you haven't gotten that encouragement. So when you do reach there, or looking around, they're going to find out I'm a Latina, right? That was basically her message and something that she lived with. Dan, how does that resonate with you?
I mean, I think I maybe took it as the way, because I know the leader who was speaking, that, hey, I might not look, maybe when I walk into the room, they might not even know that some people are Latino or whatnot. They might think, hey, this person's that or that person's that, until they learn more about you, right. Or maybe find out your last name or things like that. But I think just being able to, again, which is be comfortable, and what we're trying to promote is being your authentic self, bringing your full self. I think that's one of the things I kind of had as a takeaway, and just realizing you're not the only one who feels that way. And these leaders who get there, they're trailblazers. They're somebody that we can look up to, and they're really role models, and they also lift us up too. So just trying to remember that every day, as if you ever feel that way or wherever you're at work.
And I know we had important leaders like Tyler Anthony, who's the president of PHI, and others, and talking about the Latino empowerment, right? The big impact that Latinos play, not just at Exelon, across the nation, right? That Latinos are the fastest growing, and it's going to be the biggest pool of employees in the future. How does that, hearing that message directly from the president of PHI, how does that resonate with you?
I mean, to me, I just think about the community and the representation. I think I appreciate those that support from our leaders for sure. I think about the representation that we have in our areas and how we can influence that, help prepare our youth as well, because there is a progress and a preparation that has to happen. There has to be that build. We need to build that network. And when we hear that the numbers, right, and how it looks, the demographics, you feel like, well, it is not. We're not very well represented, right? You would think that there will be a lot more in those positions that we have, which is a big range of things, right? But for me, is really reaching out and see how I can put myself out there that I can share. What I know, what I have learned with the organizations, and share that with them, and see if I can guide them to prepare. Like, how do you prepare to land in those areas?
So just switching gears a little bit, Dan, I know that as part of Olay, Atlanta City Electric participated in the Latino Festival in Atlanta City. In spite of the weather, we had bad weather that weekend. We were able to move it inside in the showboat. Tell me about your impression of the Latino Festival with the Hispanic Association.
Yeah, the weather was a challenge, but we made the best of it. They got moved inside. I think we had a great turnout from the company, and I was really proud to see all the volunteers that did come out. We were able to speak to all the people that passed through our table and our booth, and just had questions about the company, and it was a good opportunity to kind of speak with the community, specifically the Hispanic community where we live at, and give them information. They had questions about jobs and things, and I think just that workforce development and conversation that we're able to have in dialogue, and then letting them see that there's people that look like them that work there, really is a big thing and a big impact there.
Yeah, and thank you for participating as part of Olay, and certainly as the president of the Hispanic Association, we certainly appreciated all the support that was there. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us here on Latino Motion.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in once again to Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare. For more information, call 1-888-569-1000 or visit atlanticare.org. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.